Hello and welcome to Paper Plays Julie K.
Welcome everyone, and thank you so much for stopping by to check out my latest video. And today I'm here with kind of a linen and lace like pocket journal is what I'm going to call it. It does have a lot of journal spaces in it, but no like actual pages, so I'll have like little notebooks and tags and stuff in it inside of pockets and belly bands for journaling. And I do have it flipped on its side just to show you guys how massive this one is. I did kind of measure it, and kind of from end to end it's about 15 inches this way and it's 12 inches this way, and it has a 2-inch spine. And so I just thought I would kind of show it to you that way just so you guys could see it. And I'll try and kind of move it around while I'm flipping through it. This is the best I could do with my camera angle to get most of it in. And again, it's a linen and lace book or journal. And I made this for my mom's neighbor, Joanne, and friend. Joanne, over the past few years, has gifted me a lot of her linens and laces, different craft stuff. Once in a while when she goes out thrifting, she'll pick me up a couple of things. And so this is kind of a thank you to Joanne. I've given her some other smaller things that I've made over the past couple of years, but I wanted to make her something special with a lot of the stuff that she has gifted me, some of the bits and pieces. And she does like the color blue. So a lot of the blue stuff that you're going to be seeing in here came from Joanne. Also, 99% of the linens all came from her. Just the other things that only came from my stash were a little bit of the laces and embellishments, but some of the embellishments came from her too. So as you can see on the cover, I have several layers of some linens, some table coverings, those kind of things. There's a doily. And then I made this little cluster here of flowers. And I believe she gifted me some of this blue trim right here. There's part of a little applique that I cut off of one of her linens that you kind of just see a hint of. But she also gifted me this button, and I know that this set of buttons I believe came from her grandma, because she gave me a whole bag of buttons. So I thought it would be appropriate for me to use some of those buttons in this little journal. And then I made the flowers, and I added actually some appliques for my stash. And also here's some little fun little crochet trim that came off of a pillowcase edging. And you can just see all the different layers. There's just so many layers. It's going to be hard to show you guys every single layer. This also came off of a doily down here. And then as far as what I put inside of the journal, you know, hopefully I'm just going to tell her, you know, that she could maybe put some like family photos, old photos, or if she has any love letters, anything like that, that she wants to keep, or cards maybe from her son, those kind of things. But for now, I just went through my junk journal stash and I used up bits and pieces that had blue in them. So there's just a bunch of random things in here. I did create a little belly band right here. This again is one of her linens that she shared with me with a beautiful embroidery on it, and you can see some beads, dangles right here. Those also came from Joanne. And then I added some Hobby Lobby trim above that, and I had this fun little embellishment. This one came from Kim at Angel Dreams Crafts Kim. The little glass cabochon, and so I just added that up there for a little bit more interest. And then I just created a couple of journal cards, and I believe it was a Stamperia paper pad, and I just added, again, Joanne gifted me a bunch of little appliques, so I used a lot of those appliques to add to the little journal cards. And then I did do some stamping on the back side, and I held it together with some blue seam binding and added a little charm. And then this also has a double pocket right here. So there's a pocket here and here. And again, just some journal cards with some leftover scrapbooking paper in my stash. And I added some laces and trims. And I did some stamping on the back side of those. Again, there's just all sorts of layers. Some more blue trim here. This was part of the linen, this little crochet edging on that one. And then on this page right here, again, a lot of Joanne stuff. She gave me this gorgeous dangle trim down here, and I used it up at the top of the page also. And it had the cute little flowers on it. I believe maybe it came off of a curtain or something. And I know that she told me she had a dog and that they put little bows in her hair when she got haircuts. And so this was one of the little bows that came from her dog. So I added that there. There's some little appliques off of a wedding dress. I know Joanne's been with my mom when she's helped her thrift some of the wedding dresses for me that they have found. So I added a little bit of that there. This pretty blue lace also came from Joanne. It was like a placemat, I believe, but it's beautiful. And so I thought that'd make a fun little pocket. I used some rickrack, and I believe the rickrack came from my stash. The buttons might have come from Joanne, some of them from Joanne and some from my stash. And in this pocket, I just added just some scrapbooking paper, just for her to be able to journal on if she wanted. But there's room, like I said, to put other fun stuff in the pocket. I just added that. And of course, you can see in the background here, again, another linen, gorgeous linen from Joanne. There's a layer of white lace from her. Also, this double layered came from a little table covering that I took off. And then also this one, too, I believe, came from Joanne. So there's quite a few layers of lace on the tops and the bottoms on this page. So when I flip it to the next page, and I'm just going to kind of show you the page. And so again, on this one, this little applique right here was from my stash. The little blue one behind here, the little doily, my mom made that one for me. So I thought it was appropriate since my mom and Joanne are friends. They actually get together quite often, and they both like to knit and crochet. So they'll sit and knit and crochet and kind of chat. So I did add that for my mom, but here's some little blue trim that's vintage. Another layer of some beautiful blue trim, which I believe also came from Joanne. Some rickrack. This was part of either a napkin or a tablecloth or a placemat that she gave me. She had several pieces of this set, and I don't remember which. It's been a while. I've been working on this for probably 6 months, and I finally finished it. Some fun little rickrack up here. And here, another one of those flowers that came off of that dangle blue trim. Another one of Joanne's buttons on both corners. And again, I made a little pocket right here. And in here, I just have a large journal card, just left over from some scrapbooking paper. And then a cute little, mini notebook. Again, left over from some Stamperia paper pad that I had. I made some composition notebooks and some altered boxes using this paper pad, but I just had pieces left over. And again, some little layering of some of the appliques that she shared with me. A little heart also, that little button heart. And then on this one is a little bit of a linen, and I kind of folded it so that it would look like an envelope. And the little applique, that's from me, but the button in the middle is from Joanne. I added some Velcro so that it does Velcro open like this, and you can open it up and put something in there. And I just put 2 very large journal cards, again with just some leftover scrapbooking paper that I had left over from past projects. So that's what I put in the pocket, but I thought it was kind of a fun little interactive thing with to be able to use the little linen piece kind of as an envelope. And you can see all sorts of wonderful layers on here. I have some ribbon roses, a little trim, another little piece that came from Joanne, little ribbon rose with some ribbon behind it. This little applique is mine. Some beautiful ribbon. You can see it, kind of the background of this one is another tablecloth that came from Joanne. I have some vintage trim right here, some beautiful trims, more rickrack, some roses, and again, there are at least two layers on this side of trims. Also on this side, I know this blue trim also came from Joanne, and I think this white and this blue trim. So I'll hold it up so you can kind of check out the different layers. And of course, you're going to be seeing some of the layers that are on the other pages also hanging off. But just to check out some of the details up close. But I kind of love how this turned out. It's kind of a lot of shades of blue, but again, it's kind of special just because it's made out of so many things that Joanne has gifted me. And so I think I have 2 more sets of pages to show you guys. So on this one, I just did a little pocket with some eyelet trim lace. I hung a tassel, some different flowers. These pretty little appliques up here on the top, those came from Julie at Craft Supplies for You. They just match so perfectly, I had to add them. And you can see this pretty little tablecloth piece that had some embroidery on it that I used. So I tried to make that so it kind of shows. And of course I made a couple of journal cards. And these ones I used some of the appliques, I think, that came off of a wedding dress. And again, on this one, you can see rickrack, there's eyelet trim, there's some white lace, and then I think everything else is the stuff from the other side. Maybe the blue one was on this side. But I'll hold this little page up so you can kind of check it out a little bit closer and all the details. Just all the layers of lace. It's so pretty. And then I'll hold this side up too while I'm holding, just so you can check out the details, and then I'll talk about it for a minute. So on this one, you can see I have some dangle trim right here. And then there's like a double layered lace that I added to the sides. Again, this is like a table runner that I used from Joanne to make that page. Also kind of some embroidery, and she possibly could have embroidered that one herself. She gifted me a lot of pieces that had embroidery on it. I added a little charm that said laugh with a little bead on it. Some more rickrack. There's some little trim right there. And in this one, I just stuck a couple of different styles of journal cards. Again, this was some of the appliques that Joanne had gifted me a long time ago. She lived in Italy, and so she had picked up some different laces and trims while she was there. And so she was nice enough, again, to gift me the stuff that she wasn't going to use. And so I've been using it on projects, but I still had some pieces left, so I was able to add to the journal card, so I was happy about that. And again, several layers of lace that you can see hanging around the sides. And then the last set of pages here to show you guys. So in the middle, she had this tablecloth that was kind of sheer, but it had some embroidery on it. And it was gorgeous. And along that, so I cut out a little pocket from that. But then they had the edging right here on that. So I just added it around the edging of this page. Also, one of her linens had some beautiful little appliques on there in blue color, so I cut those out to add. I thought they were gorgeous. Another little partial doily, some pieces off of a wedding dress. Again, you can see this trim that has some kind of embroidery on it on the side right here that I had sewn on. Here's kind of some beautiful vintage trim on the sides. And I added to the top. On the bottom, there's some rickrack trim. I also added some jewelry pieces here. Joanne also donated, or not donated, but gifted me some of her jewelry that was broken. So I've been using that also on different projects. Some more flowers up here. And then again, just some journal cards and another one of those little notebooks. Again, both these pieces I know came from Stamperia paper pad. And so here's the last one that I wanted to show you, the last page. So this one I had, again, one of her sheer tablecloths where that flower was, and then underneath there you can see the other part of the linen that also has some embroidery on it. There is more rickrack. There's some vintage trim underneath the rickrack. There's also some bead dangles on this one. This applique was from my stash. And I'll hold this page up too so you guys can check that out again. I can't remember if I showed you this one up close or not. But on this one, what I chose to do is I do have a long little like folder that I made. Again, using some leftover paper, some of it's Stamperia, this one's from another paper pad, but I don't remember the name of it. I just did some layering on this one. I know this trim right here too also came from Joann, along with the pieces on the edges of this one. And when you open it up, it's kind of like a little folder, and so I stuck some more journal cards and I stamped on the back sides of these. And then I just have some tea-dyed paper that I punched on the edge. I don't have anything on them, but just another little spot for writing. And then there's the back side, it's plain. But I did also stitch around everything. All the journal cards and everything that I made in here have stitching. I stitched around everything. And the last item in here, this last page also has a little pocket here. And I'll let you guys peek kind of on the inside. I mean, not too pretty in there. You can see some of the stitching and stuff from the back cover. But this was a little journal, and I was going to put this in the belly band at the very front, but it didn't fit. So I had to stick it in the back pocket. But here's, you can see this flower right here. Here's part of that I cut out from that tablecloth. Again, just lots of layering from different pieces and parts of things. Several layers. And then this one's just kind of a basic journal. I do have a pocket here. I didn't stick anything in it. And just some, you know, there's a tuck spot right here. She can tuck something in there. Just some graph paper. There was a sticker that I had that was blue. This one I did have a little piece stuck in that one. Just a little tuck spot. Some eyelet trim. Another sticker. I believe this also is a tuck spot. You could tuck something under there. Not all the pages have stuff on them. A little bit of a sticker. Another little. And I was just using up. This came from some sort of paper pad, and I can't remember what company it was. I think I made like a hardback journal using this scrapbooking paper pad. It was blue and yellow, and so again, I just had some pieces left over from that, so it was just kind of nice to use them up in this journal since I was using so many different shades of blue in here. I think I just glued that one on. That one isn't the tuck or anything. This one's a tuck. Again, another tuck here to add something. And then there's also a little pocket here that she could add stuff to. And then the back side of this one, again, another piece of one of her placemats and some different trims, crochet trims on this one. And that one fits in the back pocket right here. And then it closes. And here is what the back side looks like. Again, you can see the different layers of different laces and trims and doilies on this one. The top doily was one that my mom had made for me that I included. Otherwise, the rest of the doilies I think all came from Joann. And I added the flat back pearls to one of the linens that she had gifted me. But it had the fun little Battenberg lace also on this linen. So that is my kind of completed little journal that I completed for Joann. I just want to thank everybody so much for watching, and hopefully everyone has a wonderful day and happy crafting.